And now, your host, Couch Tomato!
Hey, I'm Couch Tomato and I'm joined by...
Hulk.
All right, welcome to Stuff for Movie Buffs. And today we're talking...
Black Panther news, Thor Ragnarok news, and Star Wars news.
All right, as an update, before we get started, does anyone want to get out? A little little Captain America humor. But actually, a quick update to my patrons out there. Thanks for supporting the show. A special shout out to Lightning Black, our newest patron this week. If you're a patron, be on the lookout for the 2 cents posts on Thursdays going forward. I'll post them every Thursday going forward. Either respond with a comment to add your 2 cents or send me an audio of your 2 cents to my email on the post, and I'll play it on the show. So if you're not a patron and want your shout out read on the show, visit our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/couchtomatofilms, and support the show by giving $1 a month. We'd really appreciate it, guys. So thanks in advance. All right. For 2 cents this week, our 2 cents topic is Thor Ragnarok reviews. So Hulk, when you talk to people, what's the most common response that you get when you ask what's the worst MCU movie?
Thor Dark World, without question.
All right, so same here. I get some Iron Man 3s in there, which I strongly disagree.
That too. That's like an honorable mention.
Yeah. So I mean, but for the most part, I always get Thor. I almost said Ragnarok, but Dark World. So Thor Ragnarok's critic reviews were released this week, and it's currently sitting at a 98% on the site that should not be named. What does this mean? Give us your 2 cents.
I don't think that's the thing. It's like if you ever read like the short clips on it, like for the site that's not to be named, it's like sometimes with certain movies, it's just like you get like a little different perspective with each little brief summary. But with this one, it was just like the same thing. This isn't the best movie in the world, but it sure is the funniest.
Yeah.
Or this is Marvel's funniest movie to date, and it just felt so kind of rehearsed or just like
they read a script.
Yeah, and it was just like, like it really killed like whatever enthusiasm that I had when I first seen the numbers. So I'm just like, like I'll just have to judge it for myself. But as far as for the studio, I'm sure they're happy right now. But like, I don't know, like my excitement level hasn't really gone up. Like the trailers have been okay, like I like them, but I'm still like not like,
you can't take that back now. I told you I saw only the first Thor Ragnarok trailer and I didn't see the second. And it was on an earlier podcast. I don't remember what episode. You're like, oh, you need to watch the second. It looks great.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh man,
it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's not the best trailer in the world, but it sure is the funniest. You sound like those critics. So now you want to take it back, but
because it's just like because with the other stuff that they released, I think it was just like this last trailer that they just released, and then someone like the the little mini spots that they have, and I was just like, like it's just like okay, like I didn't really see anything new that like was just like, oh my gosh, like I need to be there. Not even Friday, Thursday night, you know what I'm saying, midnight. Now it's just like hopefully I'll catch it because we're probably gonna be doing a podcast, but that's it. Like as a fan, it's just I don't know my interest, even though all the buzz has been so positive, but at the same time, it's just the critic thing has really turned me off because even with like with Marvel, you get that a lot. Like they always like their percentage points always go a little higher with critics because they really like that. They're like their films, but at the same time,
and to be fair. The thing that we do as fans now, we compare Marvel to Marvel movies, but even say what you want about Thor: The Dark World, I think I hate it, but when you compare it to other comic book movies, it's actually pretty decent. Like Marvel's in a league of their own, so even their bad stuff is better than other people's good stuff, if that makes any sense. So I understand why it's not. It's well deserved, the praise that they get from critics. It's just sometimes.
Nah, but go ahead. I was gonna say though, but even with Thor Dark World, I don't think it should be a fresh movie. It's at 66%. I was just like, what? Like I really, like I think it's bad enough to where it's just like, okay, this movie should not be fresh at all.
If I asked 10 people if they like Thor: The Dark World, 6.6 of them are not going to say yes. So I don't agree with those numbers either. I think that's one of those movies where, along with other stuff like Ghostbusters and a lot of stuff recently, where I really don't trust that site. You know what I mean? At least from the critical perspective, the critics. So if that's what if Thor: The Dark World is a fresh movie, how am I supposed to trust?
Exactly.
Like, me personally, I don't ever pay attention to the critic scores as much as I do. I do put stock in the audience scores though. But surprisingly, I don't agree with the audience on Thor: The Dark World either. So I don't know what that's about. I just know, like, I've asked over 100 people, and 66 of them have told me, more than 66 people have told me that Thor is a bad movie. Like, more than 70 of them have told me that. More than 80. So it's like, why is that movie sitting on fresh? I don't know. But I definitely agree with that part. So as per Ragnarok, for some reason, Thor is one of the coolest characters in the MCU, but they've struggled to, give him the best films. I like Thor 1, by the way. I wasn't really anticipating this film like most people. It's not circled on my list. Like I said, Hulk had to really talk me into it to even watching the second trailer, and I never really got around to that. Will I be seeing it opening weekend? Probably. And that's mainly because I'm invested in the MCU and I want to see what happens next. Do the reviews swing my enthusiasm for the film? Absolutely not. So I'm on the same page with you. Like you said, we'll probably do a podcast on it. The way I'm banking on it, as long as one of us sees it, I think we could at least, iron out a podcast. So Hulk might have to take one for the team. Who knows?
Nah, chill. We'll you watching it. You have to watch.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, another reason I really want to see this film is because I'm praying they actually show the Avengers Infinity War trailer that they showed at Comic-Con. Just like, they showed the Avengers trailer at the end of Captain America, the First Avenger. So when I'm doing the math, you got Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War coming out in 2018. And it looks like, especially this week, since they started promoting Black Panther, you're probably, because I'm thinking of the next big TV spots that are possible, which are Christmas Day NBA, and you got Super Bowl, and I really think they're going to dedicate that to Black Panther excitement and trailers. So I'm really doing the math on, okay, where are they going to be able to fit this, trailer that they showed at Comic-Con? And they never hold on to trailers that long. Like, it usually, 2 to 3 months after Comic-Con, you got to release the trailer. So I'm hoping that they put that at the end of Thor. I do know that they have a end credit scene that they showed at Comic-Con as well. So I know that's going to be hopefully they put that in the middle, and then they'll put Infinity War's trailer at the end. But who knows? So speaking of Black Panther, let's segue into our next topic. So Black Panther trailer number 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it came out this week. So, I mean, your thoughts?
Loved it. The only part I did not like, there was a reveal with Michael B. Jordan's character,
Negative Nancy.
Yeah, like I really wanted that for the movie. Like,
I'm not upset that they put that for the movie. You know why?
Why?
I really think that I don't even think he's the main baddie in this film.
You think it's gonna be Claw or another one?
So it might be Claw, it might be somebody else, because I think the way that they're shaping up Michael B. Jordan's character to be, Killmonger is probably going to be like what Loki is to Thor.
Oh, like always, like he's probably going to be in like
we're
most
enemies,
of the movie.
But whenever we have a common foe,
like
because I just know both of them have real love for Wakanda or whatever. So it's like it's a situation where their leadership clashes, but I do think that they have an overall love for their country. So I would imagine there's a threat to Wakanda, like somebody's trying to really kind of do the same thing that Ultron did and go after some of their natural resources, and they're gonna have to band together. But I think they're gonna keep them around like Mordo and Strange and Loki and Thor's universe. So yeah, I would like to see that. That's why I'm like, you know what? They're probably not showing everything in this trailer, because why would they give that out so quick? And I just know Michael B. Jordan has a strong relationship with the director. When you look at Fruitvale Station and Creed, and I know he wouldn't steal him from the Fox universe of Fantastic Four just to kill him off in the first movie. You know, like, you got to look out for the homie and say, you know, no, I'm going to take care of you, man. I'm going to give you, you know, a recurring role in this MCU universe. So that's what I think. I have nothing to base that off of, though.
I hope so. Cause like, but yeah, I just wanted to see that for the movie. But that was the only thing. But
I'm straight. Cause I thought, cause he had the Killmonger mask at first when he was doing that robbery scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he's gonna upgrade his suit to, you know, something a little bit more Killmonger friendly. That's like a true adaptation from the comics. But then when I saw them give him a suit, I was like, you know what? I'm down for that. You know, like,
yeah,
that's,
I loved
that's
it.
nice.
I love the suit. I love the suit. And
I'm not, like I said, I think they got another bullet in the chamber. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure they're keeping something to themselves.
Yeah.
Because when have you known? I mean, has Marvel's traditionally spoiled stuff in the trailer like that?
Nah, they've been deceptive, but they haven't really spoiled stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because the way that they did Iron Man 3, nobody saw that Mandarin stuff coming.
Nah.
So I just know.
But that was the unfortunate part.
Yeah, I'm usually surprised when it comes to Marvel stuff. So I'm like, oh no, they're going to find a way to twist it. It'll be the same thing with Thor's hand. Like, I knew his hand didn't get chopped off in the Dark World, but I'm like, what's going on? Like, okay, you know, he can't trust Loki. He can't. But then when you watch the movie, spoiler alert, you can trust Loki. So, yeah, like, I'm not worried about that. But just like you, I love the trailer. Definitely circled on my list, mainly because I want to see big things from this director. I like the fact that, you know, they're providing upgrades on Black Panther's suit. And it's going to be just like, you know, the Stark armor, to where every movie, you know, oh, let me see the upgrades. And money wise, Tony Stark ain't the only billionaire in the Avengers anymore. Like, yeah. I think I really want to compare these guys' net worths, because it's like, whoa, like, this dude has deep pockets when you look at some of his resources in the opening of the trailer. So I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah, the man run a country, so.
Bro, and all those stigmas about, you know, like African countries and stuff like that. Really not sure where the fictitious Wakanda is located on the map, but I am, you know, anxious to see him play in that world. And just the cast looks, one thing I like, I'm glad they didn't give Michael B. Jordan the accent, because I don't really think he could have pulled it off. And I'm actually okay with, you know, like the way it is now. So, but a colorful cast too. So it's nice to see Marvel's just breaking barriers in all like segments. It's like, okay, they with Spider-Man Homecoming, Sony gets credit for that too, but you know, they revamped that whole young adult 80s type genre with Doctor Strange. It's just a whole new element to that sci-fi. It's the same thing with Thor 2. And then comedy, what they're doing with their movies, spy thrillers with Captain America, Civil War, and Winter Soldier. And with this, I mean, when you talk about black filmmaking, I haven't seen a cast this colorful since like Coming to America. You know, well, let me not say I've seen casts like this before, but it doesn't mean that the movie's always good. So I'm just anxious to see what this does for diversity in Hollywood. I think this movie's gonna break records. Like, you remember when Luke Cage basically broke Netflix? Like, it shut down Netflix. Like, their servers couldn't even handle all the traffic.
Oh yeah, this is.
It's gonna be that times 10. I think people are gonna swell up the movie theaters.
And what I love about it is like they recognize that, because even like with the promotion, like the song selection was just perfect.
They let Couglier do whatever he wanted to do.
Like,
I'm like,
the revolution would not be televised. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so, like, it fits so perfectly with the with what they're trying to convey with the environment and all that stuff. Like, the whole thing just worked. And then the fact that it comes out in a time where it's Black History Month, like, it's like they're just smart. Like, they're really gonna. I really feel they're gonna hit this out of the park. Like, they're just really doing it right. I
think, and the reason I don't think that they'll like Killmonger's gonna be the the main villain,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the people in the audience are gonna agree with him because it looks like they set up a mutiny against T'Challa, right?
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna, Black Panther is gonna be like the more peaceful route. Like more,
I don't even think that's the case. It's like, why are you spending our resources to help America or to help other countries? Because remember, even though the Avengers are disbanded, he's an affiliate of, Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Yeah.
And he's cool with Iron Man and them now. So it's like, his country's like, bro, like we got so much problems at home and you deploying our resources to help these other countries who never looked at us, like never sent hurricane relief packages, support packages out to us. Like, what are you doing? So I think a lot of people, they're going to, kind of lean towards his side. That's why I'm like, okay, you don't steal followers like that. Like, you have to have some type of strong foundation. When Loki tried to be king, nobody liked him. But this guy, it looks like he has some strong supporters. So I'm like, nah, you know what? He's probably right. That, they're not going to kill him. It's some other threat. And I'm anxious to see what it is. So, but definitely, all in all, it looks like we both like the trailer. Yeah. So, moving along, there's some other news that came out this week. So let's dive into Star Wars topics. And I'm convinced that Disney has a calendar where they plot random Star Wars and Marvel press releases for 52 weeks of the year. Yep. Because Star Wars dominated headlines this week without really saying nothing. Because when I look back and I'm like, okay, Jedi came out. Last Jedi trailer came out the week before last, but nothing came out really with Star Wars this week. But yet they're still on the top of every movie site that I go to. So two updates in particular. I know the title for the upcoming Han Solo picture was announced. And J.J. Abrams hinted at directing Star Wars Episode 9, and he kind of hinted at the direction he'll be going. So we'll talk about those two topics. So start off, Han Solo's standalone film will be titled Solo, A Star Wars Story. Hope, your thoughts?
Nothing. It didn't do anything for me. Like, it was just I kind of expected that. I don't think they couldn't really go anywhere else with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't really, they're not going to say who shot first, a Star Wars story. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to.
In correction, they could have went a lot of places with that.
Oh, no, you think so? I think, to me, marketing wise, they have to go this route. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, unless you're going to, because you have to put something with Star Wars.
The Phantom Menace, the Clone Wars.
No.
Revenge of the Sith.
No, but they
A New Hope.
No, but if you notice,
Empire Strikes Back.
Listen.
You're not gonna let me finish? You're not gonna let me finish all the titles?
You're not gonna let me finish my point?
Okay. I'm saying you could make a title out of nothing.
No, what I'm saying is just like, okay, with this film specifically, they can't really just say Star Wars, because remember, every title has Star Wars in it. It's Star Wars and then something else. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. So you can't just have
you could put a Star Wars story, but Solo itself, like, for me personally, I do think that it has two words that you need in the title, which is Solo and Star Wars. So it has that going forward.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but I understand why they did it. It's the only way to market it to me. Like, there's no other title besides Solo. Like, because you know what I'm saying, you have to have Star Wars in the title.
Yeah,
but then
Star Wars story, you could put that at the end of, like, it could basically, conclude every title that they come out with.
Yeah, I just don't think there's anywhere else they could go.
You know what I see when I look at this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the best way to describe it. Just bear with me one moment. I'm trying to explain something. When you're watching something and you know that you're not going to remember it 5 years from now. I don't know if I could give a good example, but there's certain TV shows that I've watched. I'm like, it's a good show, but it's not going to get another season. And you know what? Nobody's going to remember it 5 years down the road. It's just not impactful. There's no wow moments, stuff like that. Like, I really feel like that with, what's that show that just came on Netflix? It's like the Breaking Bad wannabe.
What is it? Ozark, whatever.
Yeah, Ozarks. And the fact that I can't remember the name tells you, like, nothing's wrong with the show. However, And nobody's gonna remember it 5 years from now. Nobody. They're just gonna remember. Hey, remember that movie, that show once, that the guy, yeah, with the guy from Arrested Development, but now he's a good director. I do think he's gonna go on to be like actually a respectable director in Hollywood. It's but other than that, nobody's gonna remember the Ozarks 5 years from now. It feels like that with like I feel like that with Rogue One and this too. Like these Star Wars stories are gonna be something 20 years down the line where people like, remember where they kept doing those, standalone series? You don't remember? Oh man, if you're only true Star Wars fans remembers those, because just from the title, it just seems generic to me. Like I do think that they needed those words in the title, because with all the stuff happening behind the scenes, I'm not surprised if this movie ends up being trash, but at least by placing Solo and Star Wars in the title, it's like you could book it that this movie's going to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Did you see the memes?
Nah, I didn't see that. I gotta look that up.
Nah, man. As soon as that thing started, that's the reason I found out about the title, because I saw a meme where they had the red cup, the red Solo cup, and they just had that, and on top of it, it said a Star Wars story. So they're kind of picking at the Solo. I would imagine, the sales are going to be through the roof for the Solo cup. So that'll be awesome. But really anxious to hear what you guys think. Hit us up in the comment section or Twitter and let us know your thoughts on this week's topics. It's about that time. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Before you leave, if you like what you heard, share it with a friend on Apple Podcasts or wherever you go for your podcast. Don't let this be the last time we hear from you or you hear from us. Support the show and become a sponsor by visiting our Patreon at www.patreon.com/couchtomatofilms. Join us next week and check the show notes out on where you can find us weekly. It's Couch Tomato Films on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Couch Tomato Film on Twitter. Other than that, peace.